Good morning and good afternoon to our meeting incentive and event planners. Thank you so much for joining our Discover Rosewood Educational Series, Familiar Encounters. My name is Jennifer Jones. I'm one of the Director of Global Sales for Rosewood Hotels and Resorts based in Miami. It is a pleasure to be the moderator of our webinar today, and I would like to thank each one of you for your continued support and partnership. During our time together, in addition to the brand updates, we will be sharing some of the latest group offers and corporate initiatives. We will also address some of your questions previously sent during the registration process. We want to ensure this call is relevant to you and your stakeholders, and we will answer as many questions as time allows. We have a few housekeeping items before we begin. All attendees are on mute to ensure the best sound quality possible. We invite you to please use the chat box if you have any questions, and we will answer these before the end of the call. Our hotel guest presenters today are Tammy DeLau from Rosewood Baha Mar, Samantha Duggar from Rosewood Mansion on Turtle Creek, and Ashton Kelly from Rosewood London. Highlighted on the next slide is a snapshot of our hotel reopenings. We have about 90% that have reopened, with Rosewood Hotel Georgia and Vancouver scheduled for next month. We have 27 hotels in our collection and expected to have almost 40 properties in the next 3 to 5 years. We would like to share some exciting openings that are scheduled for this year. Rosewood Lake Guanahani in St. Bart's, October. Rosewood Villa Magna in Madrid, also October. And Rosewood Sao Paulo in Brazil, fourth quarter of this year. In addition, we recently announced some fantastic new developments. Rosewood Rome opening in 2023. Rosewood Amsterdam opening in 2023. Rosewood Miyakojima opening in 2024 in Japan, and Rosewood Mexico City opening in 2024. To help confirm new group business, we have 3 offers to share. First is our Rest Assured. This is for any short-term programs that are operating in 2021 this year. We have low deposits and very flexible cancellation and attrition terms. For companies who are not in a position to conduct live events quite yet, we ask that you consider Rosewood Rewards. These are gift cards purchased in bulk with no expiration date and can be used at any of our 27 hotels and resorts for overnight stays, food and beverage, and spa. They are also discounted or commissioned at 10%, and Rosewood will donate an additional 5% to your favorite charity, HSMAI's COVID Relief Foundation or Rosewood Race. And then our third option for group programs is to recognize multi-program opportunities. If you have a client that can sign 2 or more group contracts with Rosewood, we have our same time next year offer providing revenue credits back to the master, additional upgrades, and complimentary rooms. And then lastly, we announced our new cultural framework building upon our long-term philosophy of relationship hospitality. This is the calling. It's how we approach our day-to-day jobs, how we hire, taking ownership and pride in what we do, and creating an environment that is inspiring, innovating, and enriching lives. We'd like to take some time now to answer some of the questions you have kindly sent us in advance of today's call. Many of you have asked about our COVID protocols and testing procedures. Local requirements, including mask mandates and distancing, will be followed first and vary by region. As the destination requirements change, the webpage for each property is updated immediately as the changes occur. The hotels on the call today will discuss this further. Also, we had some specific questions regarding ideal group size and buyouts. Most of our hotels are under 250 guest rooms, so groups of 10 to 100 rooms on peak tend to be a good fit, and we do welcome buyouts. Lastly, there were multiple questions relating to managing the new demand and opportunities for 2022 and beyond. As a rule of thumb, our need periods tend to be weekday group business. For the larger programs during peak incentive months, space is filling quickly for 2022. If specific dates are critical, we encourage confirming programs sooner versus later. We'll have some time today at the end for any questions through the chat box. At this moment, it's my pleasure to hand it over to Tammy DeLau, who will be leading our presentation on Rosewood Baha Mar.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bahamas. NASA is thrilled to be welcoming us back to the islands. Top of mind, of course, is the current travel protocols. So we're going to go through just them quickly for you, and these are specific to the Bahamas. If you're vaccinated, it's really easy. You just apply for your health visa through the Ministry of Tourism. And once you have that visa, you are free to roam the islands as much as possible. If you're not vaccinated, however, there are some requirements that still need to be mandated. Those include having a negative COVID test at least 5 days or maximum of 5 days prior to arrival. You'll submit that before you apply for your health visa. And then once you arrive at Baha Mar, we are also doing complimentary rapid testing. So we will test those that are not vaccinated, and proof of vaccination is required as well. Those that are not vaccinated will be quarantined to their room, and that will be until about 30 minutes. And then we'll give you your key as long as you are negative test results. If for some reason you do test positive, we at Baha Mar understand and have a travel program in place for that. Travel with confidence is what we call that. We will get you back to the United States as long as it's CDC approved to South Florida via private jet for up to 4 people, complimentary, or you can opt to stay for 14 days in quarantine in the Bahamas. Why not, right? That is complimentary, and we will also offer $150 per day for food and beverage credit for you and your immediate family. Hopefully that won't happen, but we have it covered if it does. Now, as far as our location, we are right on Cable Beach. So once you are wheels down at Linden Pindling International Airport, which offers over 45 direct flights daily from the United States as well as London, you're 6 miles away from your island bliss. So that has a lot to do with our location. They built a road directly from Cable Beach to the airport. So we are grateful for that. On to our next slide. Sorry. So we have 230 guest rooms. 137 of those are run of house rooms. We are a larger Rosewood hotel, so our group ceiling is higher than what you expect from most. So we do welcome groups up to 120 is usually our sweet spot, because our maximum capacity for our event space is 240 people. We do have 11 event spaces throughout the campus and our property specific, indoor and outdoor, and then 5 restaurants and bars. I'm going to give you an example here of our ocean view room. In keeping with the Rosewood theme of sense of place, we really do immerse ourselves with the Bohemian culture and art, and you'll see that throughout the guest rooms as well as in all the public space. So you'll see that lovely piece of art on the wall there. We also have balconies on every guest room that you can do an in-room dining experience outdoors. Our guest rooms are about 500 square feet, so really large and spacious. As far as our restaurants on property, we do, as I mentioned, have 3 restaurants. Our newest restaurant is Cafe Bleude. Many of you probably are familiar with Chef Daniel Bleude. He's best known for his French cuisine and his restaurant Daniel, which is in the Upper East Side of New York. It's a 2-star Michelin, 2 Michelin stars he's received. So we are thrilled that he has opened a cafe right at Rosewood. This is just some examples of our outdoor function space. We do quite a bit on the beach, as well as our 2 pools. And then we had to have indoor space that is weather backup. That is almost 5,000 square feet. So as I said, 240 people. Works out nicely. Some examples of what our privileges for just Rosewood guests is the pools as well as the beach. So we have 2 pools and beach and fitness center. Those are open to only Rosewood guests. As you may know, we are on a campus. So the other guests from Grand Hyatt and SLS do not have these privileges. However, you as a Rosewood guest have privileges to experience all of Baha Mar, including the 7 additional pools, Royal Blue Golf Course, our art gallery, the current as well as our Baja Beachfront Water Park, which will be opening this summer. We're very excited about that. And for those of you that are still planning programs for 2021 as well as 2022, we do have our Bohemian Thing offer available for special dates throughout 2022. As Jen mentioned, we are booking quickly. So first quarter is almost booked up, but we're happy to offer this, including a flamingo experience or a Junkanoo rush. Moving on to our Dallas property, I would like to introduce Samantha Duger.
Thanks so much, Tammy. Good afternoon, everyone. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to Rosewood Mansion on Turtle Creek, which is the flagship for Rosewood Hotels and Resorts. The mansion was originally built as a private estate of a cattle baron. The original 10,000 square foot residence now houses the award-winning mansion restaurant, mansion bar, and small meeting and event spaces. You may or may not be aware, but Dallas is open. All Texas-based companies can open at 100% capacity, but of course, each business can still limit their own capacities and implement their own protocols. The mansion will continue our enhanced cleaning protocols in guest rooms and public spaces, as well as providing sanitizing stations, masks for those wishing to still use these items. We are encouraging all of our guests to wear their masks still in public spaces. Meeting and event parameters governed by our city, and for our hotel, we have all of our meeting and event spaces at 100% capacity. As I mentioned, we are requiring our associates to wear masks, and then same for our guests in public spaces. And social distancing is encouraged at the mansion, but is definitely not required. So that's just something that we leave up to the group and what they feel comfortable with doing. But obviously, we are happy to provide what everyone is comfortable with. The mansion is located in Uptown Dallas, which is only 19 miles from DFW Airport and 4 miles from Regional Airport Dallas Love Field. We're nestled perfectly in the quiet Turtle Creek neighborhood, but only minutes from the business district, from museums, Southern Methodist University, the George Bush Presidential Center, and of course, the very best shopping around. The hotel's entry rotunda, which you see here in a moment, has been recently renovated along with our lobby, living room, guest rooms, and suites. These were recently redesigned and renovated by the renowned interior designer Thomas Pheasant from Washington, D.C. His residential creations truly reflect the heritage behind the original mansion estate. Each guest room and suite features these bookshelf niches with personal libraries. The calming color palette provides guests with a relaxing atmosphere, and each room has its own French doors leading out to either a step-out balcony or a private patio. We have 126 guest rooms and 16 suites at the mansion. The room that you see here is our standard deluxe king, and these are 450 square feet, so they're very spacious. The estate's original dining room is now the famous mansion bar. This is truly the place to see and to be seen in Dallas. Sorry, I think my slides are a little behind. Here we go. The clubby atmosphere is complemented by an elevated bar menu, seasonal cocktails, and we do have live entertainment Thursday through Saturday evenings. So it's a very fun place to hang out if you're in-house. Groups like to come here and meet after maybe their dinners. They're either on-site or off-site. It's just a great place to kind of recap the day here. The mansion restaurant was the original living room of the hotel. This is where Chef Sebastian and his team create contemporary American cuisine with French influences. And then to discuss a little bit about our meeting space at the mansion, we have 5 indoor meeting rooms and 2 beautiful outdoor event spaces. Our ballroom is just over 2,200 square feet. So our max for a meeting is 80 people with meals in the private promenade foyer space. Should groups prefer to have the social distancing, this will decrease the capacity to about 30 people. And again, that's just completely up to the group and what they're comfortable with doing. Our team is always available to create diagrams just to help you assist, visually with your meeting and our spaces. Our outdoor 25-meter swimming pool is a serene urban retreat offering an inviting resort-like atmosphere. We also have a fitness center with 24-hour complimentary guest room key access. And we have a steam room and a sauna room in each of our locker rooms, along with some treatment rooms where we can offer relaxing and therapeutic massage services to anyone that might want to partake. So basically from performing and visual arts to professional sporting events, numerous outdoor parks and trails, Dallas is home to over 1.4 million residences. Dallas is just a wonderful place, not only for business, but also to explore and see more of our culture. We have a group offer that's always in effect, and it's always on our mansion website. So please visit for the most updated version. As Jen mentioned initially, we are offering some extra and added incentives for some summer business with flexible cancellation and attrition, as well as some other value adds as well. So thank you all, and please come visit us in Dallas. I would like to now introduce Ashton with Rosewood London.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rosewood London. Our authentic Edwardian manor home, dating back from 1912, was formerly the headquarters of a successful insurance company called Pearl. To set the tone, once you step inside our gates, you'll be greeted by doormen in British tweed coats and flat caps, and if you're lucky, even our resident golden retriever, Coco too. As of today, the UK is open. We have a traffic light system in place, dictating protocols depending on where guests come from. All hotel amenities are currently open with indoor dining. We are operating to a rule of 6, but we have lots of positivity moving forward. Most of our group requests from North America are coming from September onwards, where we are hoping to reduce many of these current COVID protocols. If you drop a pin on a map of London, Rosewood London is right in the centre. Equidistant to the West End shopping of Mayfair and Bond Street, to the crown jewels at the Tower of London, there's no better place to base yourself when moving around our wonderful city. Rosewood London encompasses 308 guest bedrooms, 11 function spaces, and 2 award-winning restaurants. All of our spaces can be booked by groups, so it's a fantastic USP compared to many of the hotels in the city. Our ideal group size is similar to the other properties with 120, but we also do accept full buyouts. Our group accommodation boasts average room sizes of 350 to 400 square feet with high ceilings due to our lovely old building, natural daylight, and to personalize your group stay, we even offer things like complimentary pillowcase embroidering for all guests, as well as complimentary daily turn-down services with goodies from our chefs. We also, of course, pride ourselves on our sense of place and set ourselves apart through our wonderful cuisine, authentic to British culture, no better than can be seen here in the pie room, where our chefs work in the day, often throwing around pastry and flour at the same time. We have gorgeous experiences that are very unique to our city. We also, of course, have an arts-inspired high tea, we wouldn't be very British if we didn't, served in our mirror room. You can also sip a cocktail at the best international hotel bar, Scarf's Bar, whilst listening to our very own resident jazz singer, Kitty LaRue. We like to make all of our spaces at the hotel feel different and ensure that we curate something to feel residential and to delight your guests. From using our bars or restaurants as meeting spaces, we look to try and be creative and make something feel very different and unique to you. Outside of all of our meetings, delegates can certainly relax, and we can certainly throw in some additional fun activities such as yoga in the courtyard to, for example, printing their name on their cappuccino, or even, for example, the girls on the left here are using some honey from the bees on our rooftop to make sure that even things like a tea or coffee break are an elevated and enhanced experience with Rosewood London. With so much to offer in our incredible city, our guests can also relax and take some time out, relax in the spa, or even go on a run along the River Thames, which is only a quick jog from the property. So there's a lot to experience all in one place, and we really feel very grateful that Rosewood London is a fantastic property for groups and events, and dare I say it, a fantastic partner to properties like Baha Mar or even the Mansion. We really look forward to working together on groups with you, and we're certainly trying to do everything we can to make sure everybody is very welcome back to our city. We're doing a great job here in the UK with our vaccine rollout, and we're very confident about the end of the year and moving forward as well. So thank you so much again for just joining us today. We look forward to answering any further questions you have, and I'll also be passing back over to Jen to just go through some final elements with you.
Thank you, dear colleagues, for your presentation today. Katie, do we have any questions from our attendees that we can answer?
Yes, we do. Let's start with Baha Mar. We had a question come through. Do you accommodate buyouts at your resort?
Hi, it's Tammy. That's a very good question. We can, however, it would happen between August and December. And it's tough to do, I should say, because the campus has over 30 bars and restaurants. So guests really want to experience all of the campus and not just the 3 restaurants that we have at Rosewood Baha Mar. I'm not trying to discourage it by any means. I just want to be transparent in that we can do it. It's just the food and beverage aspect gets a little complicated. But yes, and they would happen basically end of June to December. And we have 230 rooms. So we would just have to spread everybody out throughout all of the function space. They wouldn't be able to be in one function room for any indoor event because our capacity is 240. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, great. A follow-up question to that, which I believe it closely in relation, is are the other resorts and F&B open in the complex currently?
There are several that are open, and I can certainly send out, email you if you'd like, of what venues are open. Not everything is completely back yet. All 3 hotels are open, and I would say we're probably at about 75% with restaurants and bars, but some of them are only open on the weekends currently. This changes from month to month, so fingers crossed, you know, come 4th quarter, everything will be reopened.
Okay, great. Another question came through, sorry to follow up. For what is the cost of the health visa in the Bahamas? How far in advance of travel can this be submitted, and how quickly do they do the approval for the visa for travel happens?
If you want to, I don't know if it's easy for you, Katie, to pull up that travel protocol slide that we have. It's minimal as far as the cost of the visa, and it depends on, you know, how many people you're applying it for. I believe it starts at $40. All of the testing that we do on property, by the way, is complimentary. So we will test, and I probably missed saying that on my slide. It's on my slide, but we will test you back to return back to your countries as well. And that's complimentary. It doesn't take very long to get that health visa once you apply. I believe the turnaround time is less than 24 hours, but you do have to submit your negative COVID test prior to getting that approved, and or your vaccination card. What was the rest of that question? I think I answered all of it.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. We did have a question for Samantha at the Mansion. Could you please walk us through the different renovations that were completed and when they were completed at your property?
Of course. So we completed the renovation in 2020, and we did a full renovation on the guest rooms and suites, including the bathrooms, which I'm sorry, I wish I could show you 25 slides of just the new rooms. They are stunning. So all of the guest rooms and suites, the whole tower was redone, the hallways were redone on the guest room floors, as well as the hotel lobby. So that was all done. The entry rotunda was all completed around mid 2020. Come see us.
Great. We had a question come through. You may have already addressed this during your presentation, if you don't mind repeating it. Ideal group size and capacity for rooms as well as venues?
Is that for me, for Dallas?
Sorry, that's, yeah. Sorry, Dallas, yes.
Sorry, just making sure. So max for a group for our ballroom meet and feed is 80 people, and that is with pre-COVID kind of the max capacity. And then of course anything smaller than that, but we can do meeting and guest rooms for about 80 people. Our sweet spot is usually around 50 or 60, but definitely can increase that if needed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Samantha. And we do have a question for London. So Ashton, are you able to walk through the travel experience of a vaccinated US traveler?
Yes, absolutely. So at the moment, obviously, we are still quite fresh in the protocols. So at the moment, we have this traffic light system, so green, amber, and red. At the moment, the USA is still on the amber list. So passengers who have visited or transited through an amber country have to fill in a passenger locate form on arrival with a negative test on arrival and currently have to quarantine for 10 days. They do, however, have the option of taking a test on day 5, which releases them from quarantine, providing that it's negative. So it is a little bit complicated still at the moment, but there are also some exceptions depending on the type of business that somebody might be on to relieve them from quarantine as well. We are, however, hearing lots of rumours and very encouraged by both the programme of vaccine rollout here in the UK and in the US, and are very much hoping for an update with a US-UK travel corridor. And our next update on that is hopefully after the bank holiday between the 1st and the 4th of June. So watch this space. It should hopefully be getting much easier very quickly.
Wonderful, thank you. So we are nearing the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Jennifer to close out the webinar. Any questions that we did not address, we'll be addressing offline via email. So feel free to continue asking questions and we'll reach back out. Jen, off to you.
Thanks, Katie. I'd like to thank everyone for your attendance today and hope this has been an enriching time for you. We are always available and happy to assist you with any of your needs. On behalf of all Rosewood Hotels and Resorts, I'd like to thank you for your continued support. Have a great rest of your day.